equals 2x plus 3. What will that graph look like?
It's going to be a straight line.
It's going to be a straight line. Is the slope positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive. Okay, so we know just by looking at that 3, it's going to go up 2 over 1, and my graph should look like this. Okay? How about y equals, how about x squared, just x squared?
That's going to be a parabola.
It's going to be a parabola. Okay, so we know, and where is the vertex? At 0, 0, and we know that it is positive. Okay? Tell me what is the graph of y equals x to the 4th going to equal? What is it going to look like? Y equals, and you may use your graphing calculator if you need to. Y equals x to the 4th.
Will it be a straight parabola?
It's going to be a
parabola?
Well, you tell me. Is it going to be a parabola?
Yes.
Okay. What's different about this parabola? So go back to y equals, and let's change our window a little bit so that for now, do we need the x, the negative y values? No, we don't need the negative y values. And so let's change our window. Zoom. Let me see my window to have, let's just go with 0 for my y minimum. 0. And my x max, I'm going to go with a negative 5.
X max.
My x minimum is going to be a negative 5, and my
I just said your
shoot.
x minimum was going to be 0.
Hold on a second. Okay.
I'm confused.
Okay. I'm going to go to my x. My x minimum, I'm going to make a negative 5. Okay. My x max, I'm going to make a 5 because I don't want a whole big x axis. And my y minimum is going to be 0. Okay, that's all I've changed here. You guys see that? So I have, and for those of you at home, negative 5, 5, 1, 0, 10, 1, 1. Okay, so now let's go back to our graphing, and we're going to have y equals, and you should have x squared in there, and x to the 4th. Okay, and let's just see what is, if there is any significant difference.
No.
Not much.
Well, one's wider.
One's wider. Where is it wider?
Near the top, like as it goes up.
Okay, so it's narrower here. Okay, let's go back to our y equals.
Stays on the x-axis longer.
Stays on the x-axis longer. Let's go and do one more y equals. And let's go down to y equals x to the, I don't know, 6th. X to the 6th.
It ends up staying on the x-axis longer.
Okay, so it's staying longer. So the higher the exponent is getting, okay, the longer it's staying. So we might say that it's getting flatter on it, the shape is getting flatter. What do they all go through? Is there a point that they all touch? They all go through 0. Okay, they all go through, my pen's not working, 0, and there's 2 other points. And if you hit trace, can you tell me what that point is? All of them go through that. And what is that spot? That point. Okay, so it is negative 1. Oops, negative 1, 1, and 1, 1. Okay, so we're going to take some notes. And let's see if we agree on these.
In our,
Yes, yes, yes.
Does this go with, what we took on yesterday?
Well, we're shifting a little bit, all right? This is like a smorgasbord of topics, all right?
are we gonna turn in the homework from
We'll go, I'm hoping, I just wanted to give you this information, and then I can give you the homework, and maybe we'll do both of them tomorrow, okay? But they're not exactly related, so I can do that. Okay, so, when we're talking about even, what do I call it? All graphs, we're gonna say that when our exponents are even, when the exponents are even,
Should this go with,
it's a new topic. We're talking about, what is the name of this? We're talking about positive integer exponents.
so
Because eventually we'll be talking about negative exponents.
are we done with the,
Inverse direct variation, yeah. That it's like one topic, and then there's another little topic that will be going along with that. Okay?
What is it say y equals x to the fifth, then what's in the
Oh, this one, I haven't given you this information yet. We're going to be talking about exponents that are odd. Right now, we just did an exponent that was even. So we call an exponent to the second degree a parabola, or the graph is a parabola, but it is a quadratic, right? We use a quadratic formula. We use the product of zero products to factor it, okay? So, but when we have an exponent to the fourth degree, it has a special name, and it's called a quartic, okay? And that is Q-U-A-R-T-I-C, quartic, okay? So that is y equals x to the fourth. Now, I don't have a name for x to the sixth, x to the eighth, x to the 10th. They are that degree, the name of the degree. Okay? But what we just decided was all graphs contain 0, 0. So when we graphed our parabola, we had, this is going through markers here. So I know when I had a parabola, it was kind of that shape, all right? It just touched briefly. We can label that one y equals x squared. When we had y equals x to the fourth, we said it was a little flatter, but it goes through and it comes in, it's narrower. So we'll label that one y equals x to the fourth. And, try and put a sketch in there so that you know what you're talking about.
What is the word?
All right, all groups contain 0, 0, and positive 1, 1, and negative 1, 1. And the greater the value of n, so if I had y equals x to the 6th, or y equal, it's x to the n, the flatter the graph, what does it say? In this interval, actually. The flatter the graph is in this particular interval, when x is greater than -1 and x is less than 1. And this is only true for when our exponent is even. Okay. 12:11. Okay, a few more minutes. All right, any questions about that? I mean, it's pretty straightforward. So the larger, if I had y equals x to the 10th, it's almost going to start to pancake. They're going to, I know it's going to get narrower in here and just really kind of get flat.
What's the last word in that?
The graph in interval, I-N-T-E-R-V-A-L, 1 and x is less than 1. Okay?
There's something behind greater this time.
No, just there was an arrow there, nothing. Oh, so that's all you need to know. Okay? So let's see what happens when the exponents are odd. Definitely odd. Okay? So we have y equals x to the third. Now, we've done y equals x to the first, and what do we know the graph of y equals x to the first is? It's a straight line. What is the graph of y equals x to the third?
It's one-sided.
It is what?
One-sided.
It is one-sided. What do you mean by that?
Like it's a half parabola.
Yeah, it kind of has an odd shape, doesn't it? We say that, could we say almost, if you think about it, if this is a parabola, isn't it one arm and then the other arm kind of brought down? Okay, if you think about it, it's been shifted.
That's pretty cool.
Wait, what?
So our graph for odd y equals x to the third, we're going to have a graph that looks like that. Would you agree? Yes? Okay. Y equals x to the third. Okay. How about y equals x to the fifth? And y equals x to the seventh. Let's see what happens. Now, you might have to change your window, remember?
Days on the x-axis longer.
It what?
It also looks like kind of a straight line.
I like
Let's
these.
see. So, here,